Hey guys, how you going? Hey guys, you worried about the effects of 5G radiation? Well, let me introduce you to the affiliate of this video. They're called EMF Harmonized, and they filter out the harmful RF waves that actually damage our DNA. Kids are also more susceptible to the RF waves than adults are, and what they do is EMFs clump together red blood cells and cause lots of problems. This technology prevents that. And as you can see, they have products for your phone, your tablet and your computer, as well as your body. You can actually buy these for your body. So if you'd like to help a fellow truther and help me out as well, please check out the affiliate link down below. They also actually have a video showing you the red blood cells, how they clump together with 5G radiation, and how this technology protects you from that. Okay guys, if you're interested, check out the affiliate link below. Thanks guys. Okay guys, I'd like to thank Fred. Thank you very much, Fred. I appreciate that. Thank you to all my PayPals, Patreons and everybody for just listening. I do appreciate it. Okay, first thing is Bitchute is not letting me upload a lot of videos, guys. Please go to Rumble. I'll include my Rumble channel link in the description of the video. Please go there because I'm going to give Bitchute a rest for a little while. I've had 2 out of 3 of the last videos not process and publish, and it doesn't matter how many times I uploaded this one. 4 or 5 times over 2 days I tried and I couldn't get it uploaded. Then this one went through and then this one didn't. So I'm telling you, please, I'll put my Rumble link down below. Please go and subscribe over there because I'm thinking of giving Bitchute a bit of a rest for a while. Hopefully it works itself out. Okay, let's get on with it. President-elect Lisa Trump at Camilla 5, ex-chief advisor for a UN children's program, has been convicted and jailed for pedophilia. Collective Spark. With Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew making headlines across mainstream media around the globe, many people who weren't aware of elite-level pedophilia have now had their minds blown wide open. Despite the fact that there has been strong evidence of this activity for decades, many people dump this topic in the conspiracy theory category, and many professionals actually categorize victims who came forward as having schizophrenia. It's far from a conspiracy and based on our years of research here. The trafficking of children and elite-level pedophilia goes beyond that and into the murder and ritualistic abuse of children. A large percentage of the global elite are implicated in the royal families, the Vatican, and in the fields of finance, politics, and other places of great power. We are talking about the majority of people who set political policy, control our finances, and people we are made to be idolised. The latest example, apart from the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, comes from Peter Dalglish, an Order of Canada recipient and an ex-chief advisor for the United Nations Child Labour Program. He has quite the resume. Apart from being a senior UN official, he founded the charity known as Street Kids International. The police force in Nepal took Dalglish from his home a couple of years ago in a district north of Kathmandu. The police said that 2 children, aged 12 and 14-year-old, were rescued from the home. The police alleged that the children were lured with the promise of education, work and foreign travel before they were sexually abused by Dalglish. Kabit Katwal, the Deputy Superintendent of the Nepal Police, whose investigation led to the arrest of Dalglish, said the following: "We made several surveillances for several days and it is the outcome of our dedication. We've spent lots of time to bring Peter Dalglish into the frame of justice. We firmly believe he'll be convicted because he committed the crime. We're pretty sure that the case will not fail. The evidence is there, the confession is there, the victims clearly told the story of how they become victimised. So everything is crystal clear." Source. Okay. He was right. After spending more than a year in jail in Kathmandu, the well-known Canadian aid worker has now been found guilty of sexually assaulting children in Nepal. Dalglish denies the charge being found guilty of, according to CBC News. His Canadian lawyer, Nader Hassan, has said Dalglish's family and friends are devastated by the verdict that his legal team plans to file an appeal. Hassan said there is no clear timeline when the judge will issue a written verdict or when sentencing will take place, both of which have to happen before he can file an appeal. Dalglish, 61, could be facing prison sentence of 10 years or longer, Hassan said. An Associated Press investigation into the United Nations, the UN, revealed that over the past 12 years there have been approximately 2,000 allegations of sexual abuse and exploitation by UN peacekeepers and other employees around the world. Over 300 of those cases involve children. However, very few perpetrators have actually been arrested and held accountable for their crimes. Ex-Nebraska policewoman Catherine Bolkovac, who served as UN peacekeeper and worked under DynCorp, a military contractor where she learnt about elite-level sex trafficking involving the UN, the State Department and military, also been quite active in exposing this type of activity as well. You can read more about that here. A paper by Dr. Rainer Kurtz, published in European Psychiatry, entitled The Cremation of Care Ritual, Burning of Effigies or Human Sacrifice Murder, the importance of differentiating complex trauma from schizophrenia in extreme abuse settings, says that such revelations of child sexual abuse have put us into a new reality. In the wake of institutional abuse inquiries and the unbelievable child abuse perpetrated by celebrities like Jimmy Savile and Ian Watkins, a new reality is setting in that child abuse is pervasive and knows no limits. Reports of elaborate rituals with mock human sacrifices at the highly secretive annual Bohemian Grove Summer Festival point towards a pervasive interest in the occult in high society. Mental health professionals have a duty of care towards their service users. Unless clear and irrefutable counter evidence is available, it is inappropriate to claim that disclosures of extreme abuse and or human sacrifice rituals are delusions and indicative of schizophrenia. When it comes to these pedophile rings and what goes on within them, the paper linked above cites multiple papers and explains multiple cases. Epstein, Schwartz and Schwartz, 2011, describe cases of forced impregnation by cult members, which were followed by human sacrifice rituals. They also described UK-based abuse groups forced child-on-child sex abuse salient to the case. Scott, 2001, described the casual ease with which some abuse perpetrations torture and kill. 36 survivors complete her survey, of whom 34 claimed abuse by members of their immediate family and 21 by one or both parents. For 34, ritual abuse in childhood involved murder, and for 16 involved forced childbirth and abortion. So another one found there in their extreme abuse survey that forced impregnation by 40% of 1,041 adult survivors and 33% of 82 child survivors, and disclosed to 70% of 221 professionals bearing witness. Murder of a breeder baby by the perpetrators was reported by 26%, 18% and 55% respectively. Witnessing murder by perpetrators was reported 56%, 43% and 77% respectively. Research eventually led to the Franklin scandal that broke on 1989, when hundreds of children were apparently flown around the US to be abused by high-ranking establishment members. Former State Senator John W. DeCamp, cited as one of the most effective legislators in Nebraska history, is today attorney for two of the abuse victims. A 15-year-old girl disclosed that she'd been abused since the age of 9 and was exposed to ritual murder of a newborn girl. A small boy who was subsequently fried and eaten, and 3 others. This is very gross. Is this mainstream? No? Okay. I don't know. The key sentence above is, when hundreds of children were apparently flown around the US to be abused by high-ranking establishment members, evidence shows that Jeffrey Epstein, for example, was involved in blackmailing high-ranking people like politicians, bankers, entertainers, etc. His job may have been to work with various intelligence agencies and entrap these important people, filming them, for example, while they engaged in appropriate acts. Epstein had a lot of dirt on a lot of people, which is why he was probably murdered. See, he didn't kill himself. There is so much more to present with regards to evidence of this type of thing linking multiple politicians from around the world. In fact, Congress is now looking at a bipartisan bill to stop employees from sharing CP on Department of Defence computers. Yes, it's a real problem, which begs the question, where are these kids coming from? Who's making these kids perform? Who's filming them? And where are these high-ranking people getting this from? You can read more about that here in another link. My takeaway, the many things are coming to light about our world that were once hidden. It's all part of the tremendous shift in consciousness that's happening on our planet right now, as we awaken to multiple truths. In order for them to stop, we first have to become aware, and that's what we are going through right now. How much of a surprise is it, though, that the world's elite would be involved in what seems to be such psychopathic behaviour? In many ways, is our world not a reflection of psychopathic leaders? At the end of the day, we are all co-creating this human experience, and the more we come together on various issues that the elites seek to divide us on, the better. Now, I know some people don't believe this, but I think it's all wrapped up together, and it's been going on a long time. We know that. It will come out eventually. We will find out. Okay, the next tweet is from Noam Chomsky. That Noam Chomsky tea, and I know what people think of him too, but he was right here. Nobody is going to pour truth into your brain. It's something you have to find out for yourself. Noam Chomsky. Education is a good thing, and if only it existed. It's difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. Voltaire. Okay, and this one from ConspiracyBot at ConspiracyBot. The more you know, the crazier you look. And someone replied, the more I know, the more horrified I become. True. They're both true. The more you know, the crazier you're going to look to people, and also the more you know, the more horrified you are. The next one we've got is from Anna Kate at Anna Kate. People boycott truth because they love the lies. Okay, just made it bigger. You can let me know what you think of all these down below. Most of them are just opinions, but they're opinions I tend to agree with. Bella at The Supreme. Men don't and can't have babies, produce milk, and have menstruation cycles. They just can't. And no, that's not being homophobic. It's a fact. And if you can't face facts, well, I really do think you need help. Okay, this one from Candace Owens at Real Candace O. If you believe men can give birth, the Capitol riots were akin to the Rwandan genocide, Ted Cruz almost had AOC murdered, BLM deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, seek help immediately. Please. It's not being racist, it's not being homophobic, it's stating a fact. And this one from Jennifer Franco at Jen Franco News. Britney Spears' battle to remove her father's conservatorship over her estate continued Thursday as a judge denied her father's objections to how her conservatorship will be delegated. And this poor girl, she'd been falling apart for years over what's been done to her. I feel really sorry for her. And what adult would have their parents looking after their money? Like, I mean, not you have to ask your parents for the money. This man controls her money. Is he her father or is he her handler? That's what I'd like to know. But she's broken down so much over the years. When she shaved her head, when she had a little flip out on TV. That's due to the MK Ultra. The poor girl has been through hell, and it started. Disney kids seem to cop it the worst. So the kids who were in Disney and went through that whole thing are probably the ones who copped it a lot, the most, out of, the mind control. Not saying others didn't. I'm just saying the people we see in public are the people, and the people falling apart in public have probably had it done to them. Okay, and next we have Wayne Dupre Media, LLC, from the Wayne Dupre Show. The liberal media, in its Trump-era way of portraying itself as the victim, has taken that self-proclaimed victimhood to a new level via TPL Insider. Is that what it was? They're comparing it to D-Day now, as well as they're storming Omaha Beach. Must have been... This is how they feel. Compared the thrill of covering the Trump administration to the... Well, wow, they must be bored now. In the piece titled "I Was an Enemy of the People," Nazayan recounts how he misses the action of covering Trump. Yes, they do miss him. They hated him, but they miss him. Because their news is boring, and they're going downhill, and they know it. Anyway, they think they're liberating, like... Oh my God. Who are these idiots? Who is this story about? Trump or the media? The media are narcissists, okay? The sooner we learn that, the better we'll all be. And the TV and social media are promoting narcissism. It's getting worse. Oh, dear God. I can't even read it. The link will be down below anyway, guys. I can't read it because it's so stupid. Oh dear. And another one from Candace Owens at Real Candace O. In case you missed it, CNN is now liking the capital riots to the Rwandan genocide. Oh dear God. The insurrection in which only Trump supporters died is now the Rwandan genocide survived by Democrats. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. Sorry guys, I'm crying, but I'm crying from laughing too much. Oh, this is ridiculous. Honestly. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, but it will become funny for you when you see the media the same way I do. Oh dear. Okay, let's get on with this. Try not to laugh. Conspiracy bot at Conspiracy Bot. We pay tax on items we purchase with money we earn that has already been taxed. Do you know how much tax there is in Australia? And it's probably the same in your country too. Maybe not, okay? But without tax, our cigarettes would be $13. They're $50 a packet due to tax. Our petrol prices would probably be around 70-80 cents per litre, but we have tax on top of it. Alcohol would be cheaper, but there's tax on top of it. When we go to the shops, everything we buy has a GST on it, which is a goods and services tax. And people pay income tax as well. And you pay tax, land tax. You pay, what else is a tax? Stamp duty, I think, is a tax when you buy a home. You pay taxes with most of your services. Goods and services tax, it's a GST, it's in there. So what they're doing, okay, and for people who believe in carbon trading, it was going to be another tax. And if you added up all the tax that you pay, and if you have a wage and you pay tax out of that, it would probably end up looking more like 60 to 70% of your wages are taxed. Would you put up with it if it was written like that? That's why they've spread it out. It's called compartmentalizing things. When you break things apart and people don't really catch on to what the other side, what's going on, and it's all compartmentalized, and well, tax really isn't. It's just, it's out there. Everyone knows it, but they don't seem to realize how much tax we are paying. So anyway, we can end this pretty soon. I believe this will go. I really do believe that. Just hang in there. And this is why we need to wake people up, because if they found out There's a possibility that they didn't have to pay tax. What do you think the public would do? I think they'd probably stand up a bit more if they knew that. Melissa Leggett at Melissa Leggett 4, I don't think the world has yet discovered the power that lies in the ability to govern yourselves well. I definitely don't see the 501c3 church acting as sovereign people or encouraging freedom and deliverance for all, and this is why I don't go to church. I don't want somebody else telling me what I should and shouldn't think. I will read the Bible myself, and I will think for myself. Ecclesia is the people, we the people, for the people, by the people. I highly encourage you all to listen to Red Pill 78 post I just posted. Power back to the people means more than most know. Exactly. Governing ourselves, guys. It's coming. Okay, the next one is Robin Enochs at Robin Enochs. If more people experience the hard labour, long days, sweat, toil, unforgiving seasons of farming and ranching, maybe they working be so malleable, so easily offended by words and different ideas, they wouldn't even have time to tune in for daily propaganda and programming. Oh, they wouldn't be so malleable. There you go. Maybe they wouldn't be so malleable. Let's read it again. If more people experienced the hard labour, long days, sweat, toil, unforgiving seasons of farming and ranching, maybe they wouldn't be so malleable, so easily offended by words and different ideas. They wouldn't even have time to tune in for daily propaganda programming. Do you see where this is where things are going? We are going back to the land. All of us, I believe. That's why I said to you, I don't think shopping centres and things are going to stand the way they are right now. I don't think any of this. I think we'll go back to a much simpler time where you work for yourself to feed yourself and your family. Community with neighbours, so sharing with neighbours. If you have, too much, you may have a large animal that you've had to put down to eat. I don't want to say kill, but that's what it is, to eat it. A lot of people are going to find out just how hard it is living a vegetable lifestyle because of seasons and failures in crops. And I'm sorry about that. You're going to need to get yourself either a glass house or some sort of indoor growing thing if you want vegetables all year round and fruit. It's coming, guys. I'm telling you, this is what we're going back to. That's why they said the end won't be for everybody, because you won't have time. You will be working to feed yourself and your family. And I think it's a great idea, to be honest. I think it's what we need to go back to. There will be ways of earning money and all that sort of stuff. So, it's not going to be it's going to be better than anything we have ever seen. So it's not going back to the Wild West or starving people, and disabled and elderly will be looked after. This is what I think we're returning to. But anyway, this one from Sean Hannity. Let's get on with it instead of me rambling. At Sean Hannity, Hillary returns. Clinton says GOP senators who vote to acquit Trump are co-conspirators. Hillary, shove it where the sun doesn't shine. I am just not even interested in her. Ron DeSantis, Governor Ron DeSantis, the recent report that Biden administration is considering restricting the travel of Floridians is completely absurd, especially when Biden allows illegal aliens to pour across our southern border. We won't allow Floridians to be unfairly targeted for political purposes. Okay, so Biden says that if you're in Florida, you can't travel. Okay, the borders are shut, but illegal aliens are allowed to pour over the border. Well, you know what? That's where the human trafficking's coming in. From Wayne Dupre Media, LLC, this is illegal. He can't just alter evidence to make it look more important. And Eric Swalwell was accused of chilling deceptive move during Wednesday's impeachment. Let's see what he did. What did he do? Yeah, we had the man stand up. The person who actually wrote the tweet, I believe, stood up and said, "You can't do this. That's false." The Dems are getting pretty gosh darn desperate in their attempt to impeach Trump. Much like the first time round, they're grasping at straws, trying to find any possible angle that'll guarantee Trump's guilt. But what Eric Swalwell did is deception on a whole other level. A Twitter user noticed that during the hearing a tweet was used by Swalwell, but one thing was added, a blue verified checkmark. As it stands, this user has never been verified on Twitter. Eric Swalwell altered evidence and lied and said that Jennifer Lawrence was verified on Twitter when the president retweeted her. This is a felony, altering evidence before a trial in our government. When are the marshals going to arrest Duke Nukem? And why would Swalwell do that? Well, it appears in order to build more weight around this harmless tweet. And it was this tweet here. We've been marching all around the country for you, Mr. President. Now we will bring it to DC on January 6th and proudly stand beside you. Thank you for fighting for us. Well, they changed it. We are bringing the cavalry, Mr. President. Oh no, they didn't. Did they change it? Best day ever. Thank you, real Donald Trump, for the retweet. It's been an honour to stand up and fight for you and our nation. We will be standing strong on January the 6th in DC with you. We are bringing the cavalry, Mr. President. What the? And there are many other Twitter users who also found this entire thing from Swalwell very suspect. Because Democrats are devious, demonic, evil, satanic snakes. Yes, it was a rhetorical question, but I had to. Best part is she busted you, Swalwell. If he manufactured the verification tag, he should be admonished. However, is the tweet accurate, but for the verification? Pretty sure doctoring evidence is a federal crime. Shouldn't Swalwell be cancelled by Twitter for misrepresenting facts of a Twitter user in a Senate impeachment trial? In any of our 50 states, that would be tampering with evidence. You should ask a US senator to object to this falsified evidence and strike it from the record. This was indeed a very devious move. The tweet should be stricken from record as it's not accurately depicting the validity of the tweet. No, but as long as they get it out, the information out there and make it look that way, people will buy it without checking. They'll believe it without even checking. Okay, so let's go and... Oh, sorry, stopping that one. Ew. Trump War Room. Unearthed tweets show Jamie Raskin, Joe Biden saying, "Fight like hell." When was this? Republicans on Wednesday dug up past instances of Democratic House impeachment managers and President Biden using the words "fight" or "fight like hell." One of the key allegations against former President Trump at his Senate trial. Wow. So it's all right if Biden says, it's just not if Trump says it. You know, it's inciting a riot. You know how it is. From Paul A. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to say that. What's his @name? Oh, at Bubble Bath Girl. Okay. Nancy Pelosi knew about plans for the Capitol days in advance, reports confirm. Why didn't she do anything? No, there's a reason. There's a reason for this. You need to think. There's a reason why they didn't do anything, and people need to think. Kari Kelman, at Kelman Kari, people who were spontaneously incited to riot just happen to have helmets and earpieces on them. And also there was piles of wood and bricks being laid out before the day. There was also, wasn't there also explosive devices found the day before? Interesting. Anna Kate, from Anna Kate, the only businesses open right now is sex trafficking in Joe Biden's open border America. Hear, hear. From Notable at Conspiracy Central, or Sen, sorry. I don't want to make too much sense on Twitter, but Biden just opened up the border to Mexico and wants to restrict travel to Texas and Florida. Make that make sense. Can you make that make sense? No, because that's exactly what it is. They don't want even legitimate people coming over. What they want is people bringing children. That's what they want. From Phoenix Ammunition. We've had a few potential customers call this morning to ask why they have to check a box stating they did not vote for Joe Biden in order to purchase our ammunition. First question, are we serious? Yes, we are serious. JB ran on a campaign built on the most radical gun control platform a major party candidate has ever had, including banning the online sale of ammunition. Essentially, a plan to bankrupt our company. Second question, couldn't I have voted for him for other reasons? Sure, that's possible, but if you did, you should immediately sell any firearms you own out of solidarity. Third question, are you really willing to walk away from a paying customer simply because they voted for Joe Biden? Well, yes, we are. We're dead serious. We don't want your money, and you shouldn't want us to have it because we're going to use it to make more ammo, sell it to the citizenry, and do everything in our power to prevent JB's administration from usurping the rights of Americans. We have no problem talking to JB voters and educating them on what they did, but they have to be willing to acknowledge their ignorance at the very least. We're not going to sit here and debate with you. We're a 2A company, and these are our first principles. And I thought, good on them. Good on them. That should be the way. From George Papadopoulos at George Papa 19, wow, the BBC has been banned in China. The Chinese government has stated they do not tolerate fake news. Oh, see, they're going to turn on each other. This is a joke. This whole thing is just one big joke. From Rep Jim Jordan, how do you incite a riot that's already going to happen? Pipe bombs were placed near the Capitol before the speech. The FBI knew about potential violence before the speech. Capitol Police requested help from the National Guard days before the speech. But yet, they just painting it one way. And from the Bias News, happening now, President Trump playing golf at his West Palm Beach Golf Club in Florida as impeachment trial proceeds in the Senate. Washington Examiner. And so even though I watched it yesterday, I will not watch it today. I turned it on, it was more of the same, and I just went, no. No. These people are idiots, and I'm not watching another 7 hours of really bad acting. Okay, this one from Zuby at Zuby Music. This post was clearly warning against rising political polarisation and demonisation of people who are different from yourself. It is not anti-Semitic or racist. If you think it is, you're low IQ or ideologically possessed. But well done on proving her point. And this was, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbours and even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realise that to get to the point where the Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbours hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? And that's what they do. They were beaten in the streets by their own people. Their neighbours, even children. Even other Jews. If you look at George Soros, he was a Jew that got other Jews arrested. My goodness. And he tries to run the world. From Art Taking Back at ArtValley_818, responding to Matt Couch at Real Matt Couch, saying, what kind of man would sign a bill that allows little girls to share bathrooms with grown men? Art Taking Back, a damn pervert. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of these trans people who aren't just they're not exactly transitioning, they're just men dressing up with makeup. We want to look at what they're fighting for. If they're fighting for this kind of thing, the same rights, like to be able to go into a woman's bathroom, you've got a problem. That person is a huge problem, and they need to really be looked at. Okay, from Amuse, sadly, the Capitol Hill police decided to open gates for the protesters. Did Pelosi give the order? And if not, who did? Let's have a look, just a quiet little look. I'm going to make sure the volume's off. I'm going to make this bigger. Hang on, I'm going to go back to the beginning. Where the police, watch, they open it up and walk backwards, letting them in. Isn't that interesting? And this guy waving people in, and yeah, it's all right, mate. Come in. So what was that about? Some sort of insurrection rubbish? And this one from Dan Scavino. I'm going to play this. Just hang on a sec, guys. This is pretty good.
Third straight night, Portland police declared a riot.
The vast majority of the protest has been peaceful.
Over the weekend, 59 officers injured and 47 people arrested.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio announcing a proposal to cut $1 billion from the New York City Police Department.
We need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
This has been declared a riot.
Now, wasn't that interesting? And yet, the other thing was called a riot, and they were called peaceful protests. Wow. This one from American Trucker at Taylor Bill. Good morning, y'all. Soon coming soon to a grocery store near you. Thanks, Pete Buttigieg, for screwing over the truckers. Or Buttigieg. I don't know how to say his name, but he's a pickle anyway. It's the same thing with the toilet paper. It's controlled. It's controlled shortages. And it's done by the people who you elected or who were selected. That's why you've got to start really paying attention to local, state and federal people in charge of where you are. You really need to, and honest to God, I'd start getting something going where people are contacting these people. I am about to start writing emails to the New South Wales Health and any politicians that I can about the medication you're not allowed to even mention. But anyway, Ryan James Gerdsey. Craziest thing is, the worst allegation I've ever heard about Weaver and the Lincoln Project still hasn't been printed yet. So, communicating with a 14-year-old boy is not the worst he's done, okay? Okay, Wowzer at Wowzer 36818877. Yep, by the end of this pandemic, some of your assets will have been depleted or greatly affected in a negative way. And that's in response to Ron Milner. If $600 or $1,400 changes your life, you're pretty much screwed already. Dave Ramsey's view on COVID cash. Well then, I guess most of the public are screwed. Because I don't know about you, but $600 or $1,400 is huge to me. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. Look, even if it's not a huge amount to you, it would certainly help with what is going on, and it'll never, ever substitute what they've done to your states or by shutting things down. It'll never substitute. That's coming later anyway. In case some of you don't know, After all this is over, I believe there's some compensation coming for people. For we the people. From the people who've been robbing us blind for years and years. With taxes and pharmaceuticals and specialists and... oh, you name it. Anyway, Kevin Sorbo at K-Sorbs. Imagine getting $183,000 a year to say circle back 30 times a day. Can I have that job? Seriously, let's circle back to that one. I'll circle back to that. Can I have my $183,000 now? No. Oh, that's ridiculous. This one from City Lawyers at Lawyers City. I've banned Anzac Day and Australia Day. Get the message? I'm the quisling you've been looking for. This is Daniel Andrews, who's letting the Chinese New Year go ahead, but cancelling Australia Day and Anzac Day. It's worse than I actually guessed. I thought they'll cancel Australia Day and they'll let this go through. I never thought they would cancel Anzac Day. How awful. They're just showing you who they work for, to be honest. Okay, from Josephine Cashman at Josie Amy Cashman. It appears Chairman Dan Andrews only supports Aboriginal issues as a treaty provides him with potential loophole for total authoritarianism. Is it a coincidence Andrews' top treaty advisor owns a business which was promoting the Communist China Belt and Road Initiative here? Because all these treaties and not community organisations, but non-governmental organisations and things like that they say are helping Aboriginals don't actually help them, okay? It's just a way to funnel money. Now, the sooner everybody realises this, the better off we'll all be. It's the same with foundations. It's the same with the Red Cross. It's the same with a lot of charities. It's the same with a lot of governmental organisations who are claiming to help. It's that old saying, don't ever trust anyone who says, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Don't trust it. Get back to life at Lecker Mercedes. Australians have been and continue to be exposed to potentially unnecessary restrictions of their rights and freedoms because of the lack of transparency and accountability. Australian Human Rights Commission. To be honest, I don't know if that will do any good. I think we the people are the ones that have to... I don't think looking to any organisation is going to help. Especially when it seems that they're... It's like asking the police to investigate themselves. It never comes to anything. We had banking investigations not long ago. What happened? Not a lot. They're still there. From Simon Jasek, denying medical treatment is a crime against humanity. Intentionally withholding the option of medical treatment from a person by interfering in the doctor-patient relationship. State government ministers and health bureaucrats are now on notice. And I'm out and I'm very sick again because I can't get it till May because I had to go and make a specialist appointment because they stopped allowing our GPs to prescribe it. And so I'm stuck again. This is ridiculous. That's why I'm writing to the health department, state and local politicians and anyone I can right now because enough's enough. This is disgusting. From Not Another Nasty One at N1 Nasty... Sorry, nasty1_not. Victorian Premier Dictator Dan has called off the Anzac Day march and parade this year, but Daniel Andrews MP, the CCP puppet, is still allowing Chinese New Year celebrations to go ahead. Now, seriously, is that not showing the Australians exactly what's going on? Again from Josephine Cashman. Craziness now exists, but amongst all of the foolish ideas, none is stupider than cancelling Anzac Day. The chairman and his woke warriors accuse others of what they do themselves and are aggressively establishing a new status quo which appears to be morphing into cancelling Australia. Australia, we must battle for those who fight and have fought to protect our freedoms. How can those who serve this country continue to protect us if we don't speak in their defence? Millions of gestures can overcome the bots, the hundreds of screeching woke warriors and their ABC. Voices come in many forms. Contact a veterans group and give them your support. Thank current and former members. Write to federal and state officials in support of veterans' policies and recognition. Get together with pro-veteran friends to share ideas and actionable steps, and pray for them. Because this is what we're coming to. They're now even, like the people who fought to keep our countries free are just being trodden on now. And this is just, it's not on. I mean, even though a lot of wars started by false means, the people that went and fought were still real people. They believed they were doing it for our freedom. And who knows, maybe they did do some things that kept them back from doing what they're doing now to us. From Rita Panahi, she says, good. Entire Ireland rugby team refuses to take the knee. Way to go, Ireland. I am proud of you guys. You stand there. Men, that's men. You do not take a knee. Ever. To anyone. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that there for today. Yeah, hopefully it uploads to Bitchute, but I'm not really confident. And just at the last thing, I'm going to leave you with a civil rights ad. Okay, guys. I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
First, they came for the writers. But I didn't speak up because I was not a writer. Then they came for the students. But I didn't speak up because I was not a student. Then they came for musicians. But I didn't speak up because I was not a musician. And then they came for the Greens, the Muslims, the trade unionists, Christians, and the Jews, the travelers, the homosexuals, the journalists, the artists, the taggers, the doctors, the philosophers, the economists, the anarchists and the politicians, the nerds, the Europeans, the Americans, the communists, the hackers, illegals, the homeless. And I didn't speak up because I wasn't any of them. Any of them. And then they came for me. And there was no one left to speak up for.